Heavy rain continued to batter the country for 2 straight days, particularly in the greater capital area. Roads were closed, houses were flooded, and evacuation orders were put in place for residents in certain locations. Korea Hydro and Nuclear Power has been chosen as the preferred bidder for a major nuclear power plant construction project in the Czech Republic. We take a look at what's special about Korea's technology. Most of the protesting trainee doctors, some 10,000, are unlikely to return to their work sites as the government finalizes the number of vacancies. New recruitment is scheduled from next week for the second half of the year. It's July 18th, 6 p.m. in Seoul. This is Newscenter.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Yoon. We start here in Seoul, where rain continues to pound the city, prompting warnings against flash floods and landslides. For more, we go straight over to our Shin Ha-young standing by at one of the bridges. Ha-young, what's the situation like over there?
Hello, Jungmin. Yes, I'm currently at the Jamsugyo Bridge, which crosses the Hangang River in central Seoul. And due to continuous rainfall, the water level has been gradually rising. And at around 2:15 p.m., vehicle access was restricted after the water level reached above 6 meters. And the vehicle control level is 6.2 meters. And also, the pedestrian access to the bridge had already been shut off at just past 7 a.m. this morning, even though the water level hadn't exceeded the 5.5-meter limit at the time. And police say preemptive measures were taken for safety reasons. And heavy rainfall has led to various closures around the city, including both directions of the Dongbu Expressway linking the city to Gyeollabuk-do Province. And a heavy rain warning was in effect across Seoul until 4 p.m. A heavy rain warning is issued when rainfall is expected to exceed 90 millimeters in 3 hours or 180 millimeters in 12 hours. And at 7:30 a.m., the landslide warning level for Incheon, Seoul, Gyeollabuk-do Province, and Gangwon provinces was alleviated to serious, the highest level. And heavy rainfall also led to flood advisories in Seoul's 10 districts. While no casualties have been officially reported, several cases of rain damage were reported across the capital. And these include fallen trees along streets, flooded homes, and traffic accidents caused by slippery roads.
Now that looks very concerning. Ha-young, what about the situation in other regions?
Well, a heavy rain warning has been issued for various parts of the northern parts of Chungcheongnam-do Province, while advisories have been issued for Daejeon and Chungcheongbuk-do Province. And a person has reportedly died in Nonsan City, Chungcheongnam-do Province due to barn collapsing, but authorities are looking into whether that was due to the actual rainfall. And as of 11 a.m. today, the Central Disaster and Safety Countermeasures Headquarters have reported more than 200 cases of house flooding nationwide. And due to the risks of landslides and flooding, more than 900 residents have been evacuated across the country. And Interim Minister Lee Sang-min ordered the mobilization of all possible personnel and resources to minimize rain damage as the ministry raised its readiness posture from caution to vigilance. And that's all I have for this hour, but I'll bring more updates in our later newscast. Back to you, Jungmin.
All right, that was our Shin Ha-young reporting live from Jamsugyo Bridge. Thank you. And as heavy rain hits the peninsula, North Korea has begun releasing water from the Hangang Dam, approximately 40 kilometers north of the DMZ. The dam is located in the upper part of the Imjingang River, which flows from north to south and joins the Hangang River downstream. The Ministry of Environment on Thursday observed signs of the water discharge through satellite imagery taken overnight. It's presumed that the amount isn't too large, but South Korea is operating an emergency response system to cover any potential risks. Meanwhile, an official at the Unification Ministry told reporters he regrets the discharge, which occurred despite the South Korean government's previous request that Pyongyang follow an agreement to notify Seoul beforehand. In other news, a consortium led by the country's nuclear power entity has been chosen as the preferred bidder for a major nuclear power plant construction project in the Czech Republic. Our presidential office correspondent Woo Soo-young has the details.
South Korea's state-run power giant has been named the preferred bidder to build at least 2 nuclear plants in the Czech Republic, marking a major feat for the country's budding export industry and President Yoon's sales diplomacy. Czech Prime Minister Petr Fiala said Wednesday that a South Korean consortium led by Korea Hydro and Nuclear Power won the hotly contested tender to build reactors at the Dukovany power plant, beating France's EDF in all criteria assessed. Fiala said 2 more reactors could be built at the Temelin plant. South Korea's presidential office expressed gratitude for Prague's decision in a briefing Wednesday evening.
This makes KHNP the preferred bidder for the construction of 2 Dukovany nuclear reactors, and if the Czech government decides to proceed with the construction of 2 Temelin reactors, KHNP will also be the preferred bidder. This comes 15 years after winning the country's bid to build the UAE's Barakah nuclear power plant in 2009, and it will be the foundation for our exports to Europe, the origin of commercial reactors.
The 2 new 1,200 megawatt units will cost about $8.6 billion each, according to the Czech government, with the final deal signed by March next year. Seoul attributed the success to the solid trust between the two sides, built over 34 years of diplomatic relations, and public-private cooperation between businesses, industry workers, government officials and citizens involved in Team Korea's bid, offering low construction costs, top safety and technological standards, to deliver completion on time within budget, as shown by the Barakah nuclear project in the United Arab Emirates. Since his inauguration in 2022, President Yoon has actively promoted South Korea's nuclear power exports, holding more than 150 summits with 100 leaders of government. His office noted that he'd met the Czech Prime Minister on 3 occasions, including in Washington, D.C. last week, and even sent a letter presenting a vision for bilateral cooperation in nuclear energy. The Czech Republic aims to phase out coal by 2033 and increase its energy security by expanding nuclear power production. KHNP's APR 1000 reactor can produce around 1.2 times the annual power consumption in Prague, according to Seoul's Trade Ministry. A presidential official said Seoul hopes that securing its bid to work on the Czech Republic's plants will lead to more opportunities in the European market, boosting investment and employment in South Korea's nuclear power ecosystem. Usyang, Arirang News.
In light of this news, our trade correspondent Lee Soo-jin takes a closer look at what's special about South Korea's nuclear power reactors and what potential challenges lie ahead.
The selection of the country's Korea Hydro and nuclear power as a preferred bidder to build at least 2 nuclear reactors for the Czech Republic will likely mark the beginning of further advancements into global markets. In a briefing held on Thursday, Trade Minister An Deok-keun said the achievement, which comes 15 years after the nation won the bid to build the Barakah nuclear power plant in the UAE, will open the door for further exports to Europe.
This project involves the construction of up to 4 large-scale nuclear reactors said to be the Czech Republic's biggest ever investment project. It establishes a foothold for exporting nuclear power plants to Europe, the birthplace of the first commercial nuclear reactors.
The 2 nuclear power units to be built in the Dukovany region are APR 1000 reactors, the smaller version of the APR 1400 reactors previously built in the UAE's Barakah nuclear power plant. The APR 1000 will produce around 1,000 megawatts of electricity, less than the APR 1400, but more suitable for the Czech Republic, which has a smaller electricity demand.
APR 1000 is a sister plant of APR 1400, which is a third generation nuclear reactor. It has a much higher safety capability and lots of provisions in case of something happened in the nuclear power plant.
And compared to France's EPR 1200, the APR 1000 is more affordable, as it costs almost half of the around $11 billion it cost to build the EPR 1200. And it was also certified by the European Utility Requirements Association last year, meaning that it has met more than 5,000 requirements, something France's EPR 1200 has yet to obtain. But there are still challenges ahead, namely with the ongoing legal dispute with U.S. nuclear power company Westinghouse, which filed a lawsuit against KHNP in 2022, claiming that the APR 1400 uses its intellectual property. The expert, however, is rather optimistic.
But I think that KHNP is somewhat, better positioned than before. They are trying to solve it, through the discussions and conversations rather than the solving in the courtyard.
Currently, the finalized contract is to be signed by March next year, with construction to start in 2029 and operation to begin in 2036. Lee Soo-jin, Arirang News.
Most of the roughly 13,000 trainee doctors have not expressed a clear intention as to whether they will return to their posts or not. It's expected that around 10,000 will have officially left their positions once all the resignations are processed. The government is soon to announce a finalized list of trainee doctor vacancies at over 200 trainee hospitals nationwide. Despite the unresolved medical dispute that's rumbled on for 5 months now, training hospitals met the government's deadline by submitting their recruitment plans for the second half of the year on Wednesday. The Health Ministry is committed to starting the recruitment of trainee doctors from the 22nd of this month as planned. President Yoon has pledged to transform the southern province of Jeollabuk-do into a West Coast economic outpost, specializing in the high-tech, bio, and cultural industries. This came as the South Korean leader held his 27th public policy dialogue with local citizens, outlining his vision for the regional economy to boost people's livelihoods. He said the region will host a hydrogen complex in Wonju-gun County, as well as new infrastructure to support commercial hydrogen-based vehicles. Yoon also said the government will back the local smart farming industry through youth entrepreneurship and private investment. To enhance cultural tourism, a K-Cultural Content Support Center will also be established in Jeollabuk-do. He plans to designate Jeonju, Gunsan, and Namwon as cultural industry promotion zones by next year to nurture local cultural content. The president's office says it'll consider launching a probe and taking disciplinary measures regarding the exposure of a South Korean intelligence officer who allegedly recruited a Korean-American researcher, Sumi Terry, as an agent. A senior Yoon official told reporters Thursday that the photos and related incidents involving the National Intelligence Service officer all occurred during the former Moon Jae-in administration, adding it had purged capable agents and replaced them with amateurs, which likely led to the current situation. Terry's indictment released by the U.S. Attorney's Office in New York on Tuesday accuses the eminent foreign policy expert of breaching the Foreign Agents Registration Act by acting as an agent for the South Korean government since 2013 in return for high-end fashion goods and research funding. The heads of South Korea, the U.S. and Japan's Joint Chiefs of Staff have stressed the importance of trilateral cooperation amid escalating North Korean threats. The three countries held a trilateral chief of defense meeting in Tokyo on Thursday, attended by Seoul's Kim Myung-soo, Washington's Charles Q. Brown, and Tokyo's Yoshihide Yoshida. The chiefs condemned North Korea's illegal nuclear and missile programs, as well as deepening military cooperation with Russia. They also agreed to expand the trilateral multi-domain freedom exercise that first kicked off last month. Also discussed were the importance of maintaining peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. The next meeting will be held next year in South Korea. Members of Korea's archery team departed for the Paris Olympics earlier this week with pledges to do their best amid warm wishes from the public. Yoon files this report.
At the heart of Paris lies the sprawling green lawns of Esplanade des Invalides. This is where South Korean archers will be aiming for gold at this year's Paris Olympics. Kim Woo-jin, Kim Jae-deok, and Lee Woo-seok in the men's recurve. and Im Si-hyun, Chun Hoon-young, and Nam Soo-hyun in the women's recurve who will be making their Olympic debuts.
For us, this is our first Olympics, and we've put in extra effort to get good results. We've worked diligently, hoping that our efforts can lead to a successful outcome.
The South Korean archery team has created an unparalleled legacy by clinching at least one gold at every Summer Olympics since 1984. After winning 4 gold medals at the Tokyo Olympics out of the 5 events, Team Korea's goal this time is to secure at least 3. The spotlight is on the women's team competition, striving for their 10th consecutive gold medal. One thing that makes South Korean archery so strong is known to be their thorough training regimes, which incorporate advanced techniques and training with robots. Competing against these emotionally neutral robots is to strengthen the athlete's psychological resilience. The archers also trained in simulated settings, such as football stadiums with large crowds and under different weather conditions. Now it's almost time for their hard work to pay off, and they'll have the backing of their nation.
To our athletes, instead of dwelling too much on the medals, I believe valuing the process and hard work is more important. I hope you give your all and enjoy the journey. Go Team South Korea!
I hope all the athletes' hard work pays off. Good luck.
With their exceptional skill and unwavering support from their fellow citizens, archers for Team Korea are poised to write yet another chapter in Olympic history.
I hope this Olympics becomes a venue where people worldwide can connect and share moments of joy and sorrow together.
대한민국 화이팅!
이은희, Arirang News.
As summer vacation season is underway, Gangwon-do Province is one of the most popular places for people in the country to enjoy their summer breaks. Our business correspondent Park Gon-woo is here in the studio to tell us why. Hi, Gon-woo.
Evening, Jungmin.
Tell us about the Gangwon-do Province and why do you say it's popular?
First of all, Gangwon-do Province consists of 18 cities and counties with plenty of natural landscapes, including beautiful mountains, valleys, and coastlines, making it a popular place for summer vacations. People especially enjoy fun leisure activities like surfing and swimming during summer. Among the many regions within the province, I made a visit to Yangyang, one of the most popular tourist places these days. So let's take a closer look before I tell you more about Gangwon-do tourism. Gangwon-do Province in eastern South Korea is one of the country's most popular summer vacation spots, particularly due to its beautiful beaches. According to a survey by data research firm PMI in June, over 70% of Korean respondents planning summer vacations decided on domestic trips, what people call staycations, instead of going overseas due to high costs. The survey also showed that Gangwon-do was the most popular summer vacation destination in South Korea, out of all other domestic travel options.
Gangwon-do is a great place to come as it is really close to Seoul and the transportation is convenient.
I chose Gangwon-do instead of places like Jeju Island because of high costs, and I wanted to enjoy the clean ocean here instead of water parks since I already used those a lot.
All 86 beaches in Gangwon-do are now open for the summer. And by open, this means there will be lifeguards on duty as thousands of people will gather to enjoy themselves by doing fun activities such as surfing and playing in the sea. As of last Sunday, over 420,000 people had visited Gangwon-do beaches this summer, up 44% on year. Starting last Friday, all beaches in Gangwon-do Province are now open, bringing in many tourists. But some point out the need for Gangwon-do to also attract tourists during other seasons, as much as they do during the summer. That comes after mobile communications data from between September 2022 and 2023, analyzed by KBS, showed that around 65% more people traveled to Gangwon-do beaches during the peak season than in the off-season. That's compared to an average difference in beachgoers of 22.5% nationwide and 3.6% on Jeju Island.
Most tourism spending in Gangwon-do is usually made during the summer, so Gangwon-do needs to come up with diversified tourism programs and policies that reflect tourist trends, such as marine healing tourism, marine culture and festival tourism, and ecotourism to attract tourists during all 4 seasons.
Gangwon Tourism Organization said they will continue to work on coming up with ways to bring in more tourists during other seasons as well.
But what efforts are being made in particular to promote tourism in other seasons?
Yes, so the representative of Gangwon Tourism Organization spoke about many ways that they're trying to come up with in order to bring in many tourists during all seasons, regardless of age. So first, take a listen to what he had to say.
By utilizing the natural resources and landscapes throughout the year, we're putting a lot of effort into coming up with ways to make ecological tourism programs like doing yoga or walking barefoot near the ocean and workations for all generations to enjoy.
He added that Gangwon-do is also trying to make seasonal festivals like Hwacheon's Ice Fishing Festival or Taebaeksan Mountain Snow Festival intriguing with more exciting activities to promote their tourism.
What's your recommendation for those who wish to visit Gangwon-do this summer?
Well, as there are so many places to visit, it's really hard to try to pick only a few. But as you saw in my report, going to surfing beaches to enjoy leisure activities will be worth a visit. You can even enjoy surfing while it's raining unless there's an adverse weather alert. So there's no need to worry even if you're planning to visit there during rainy season. Also, as 1 out of 3 people in Korea have pets, I recommend enjoying your vacations at dog-friendly beaches with your dogs if you're a pet owner. And last but not least, for those who want a relaxing experience, staying in villages in rural areas and experiencing the quiet vibe there can also be an option.
What a recommendation. All right, thanks for the report, Kanu.
My pleasure.
Heavy rain continues in Seoul. There are puddles everywhere due to the pouring rain, and umbrellas and raincoats are not enough. Attention will continue to be paid to extreme rainfall of up to 70 millimeters per hour in the central parts of the country until the end of work today. Until tonight, there will be a lot of heavy rain across the country. Especially in the southern part, you should be careful of heavy rain of 20 to 30 millimeters per hour until dawn. By tomorrow, up to 150 millimeters of rain is expected in the Seoul metropolitan area and Jeollabuk-do Province, and up to 120 is expected in Gangwon-do Province, the Chungcheong-do Provinces, and Gyeongsang-buk-do Province. Temperature-wise, most areas will start off in the mid-20s tomorrow. Highs will move up to 31 in Seoul, Chuncheon, Daegu, and Gyeongju, 32 degrees. Up to 70 to 80 millimeters of rain are expected throughout the country this coming weekend. That's all for Korea. Here are the weather conditions around the world.
That is Newscenter for tonight. Thanks for watching. A panel session up next.